Amond Prater.
Hey, back in the saddle, man.
Dang, good to see you. You're everywhere.
Hey, whenever I get to see you, Joe, you know it's always going to be good. So the fact that I know you're going to have your equipment, and the fact that we're going to have a conversation most of the time, and usually it's on camera, so that's pretty cool.
Hey,
so.
I gotta get Amond Prater on camera when I can. Carry this thing in my back pocket.
Yeah, man.
All right, here's what I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So we're in this room. We're at the Greater Heights Combine. A bunch of high school kids rolling around. So when I was watching, I was thinking about what was I thinking when I was in their shoes. So I wanted to ask you, when you were young high schooler, what were you thinking about when you were on the mat, or when you're thinking about wrestling?
I mean, for us, it was always like the experience happened in the summer team camps.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of similar to that, because you're still around college coaches, you're around college athletes, even some of our camp counselors.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to perform, like you want to give your best stuff, and then you obviously want to take whatever they say, like I got you, coach. And so there's a little excitement, a little twinkle in the eyes, especially when you're talking to high school kids who are taking time to make sure to hone their craft and develop those relationships. So I enjoy kind of seeing that. I enjoy the interactions because it's more genuine that way, because they really want to be here. They really want to kind of learn. So
Gotcha. So compare like how you thought about wrestling. What's the same, what's different from when you were their age to now? You've got more years of experience. You wrestled in college, and now you're even coaching. So how are the things the same, and how are they different?
So some of the same things are, the confidence part of it, right? So the higher level you get, and even now, like when I'm coaching in college, I didn't have the same type of confidence, because you learn different positions. Now I can almost beat up on the kids I'm training because I know so much. So that age with wisdom really happens. And then some of the differences are more so just learning how to the high level wrestling. We're competing with some of the best teams in the world. So every time these senior level athletes go to these world championships, we're always finding those new things. So you can't stay with the same techniques. There's always got to be tweaks. Even when we're teaching basic moves, basic moves. I talked to Jaden Ironman today, about one of the arm drags that he's done, and just changing the grip. It totally changes, what you're able to do. But for so long, we've been teaching in a certain way. So, I'm learning too, as well as the kids, just understanding that the high level wrestling, just keeps getting better. So.
Yeah, nice. What's your advice would be for these kids that are training right now and they're young in their career that want to move on to college?
Ask a lot of questions. Use your resources, and be able to accept your limitations. So that's the biggest thing. We're not looking for any high caliber, all-star wrestlers. We want those kids who are always seeking, developing that relationship. So if you ask me 50 questions, I'm going to be able to take an interest in you because I know that you want to get better, versus a kid coming in, who's kind of got a chip on his shoulder, doesn't really think he needs to learn anything about the sport. I'm probably going to be standoffish too. I probably won't try to interact with that kid, but we love those kids who really want to get better. So.
Nice. So I was talking to you on the phone the other day. We were talking a little bit about Marcus Haynes, assistant coach out there. Tell me how things are going between you guys.
So at Fontbonne, it's more so. It was a perfect scenario, with Marcus having a St. Louis route, at his academy. It was like I said, it was a no-brainer for me when we talked about him getting on staff. So it's been great. He's still been able to hone in on his techniques. He's been able to develop a relationship with guys, especially since he teaches wrestling all day, every day.
Yeah.
So me, on the other hand, I'm still trying to get those kids in the room. I'm still trying to build those relationships. They want to learn, more about the sport. But it's a great balance between the both of us, because, again, he knows more wrestling than me at this point, because he travels, he gets it around the camps all over the country, and so he's able to work with different kids, whereas again I like building those relationships and getting them in there. So it's a great balance.
Yeah. So what is it you were telling me? He'll have a large role in running practices, teaching technique.
Just techniques, and a different eye. So, even at some of the academy practices, I'll say something and then I'm able to jump in and see a different perspective, that he's teaching, or if I'm teaching something, he can come right in and just add to, whatever we're doing. So it's been a great balance. So.
Doesn't hurt that you guys have been homeboys for a long time.
Yeah.
Nice. How important is the relationship between coaches and the dynamic in the coaching staff?
Well, Joe, I mean, you you competed in college, you understand the grind. You know, you understand those long days where there's nobody else around on campus to hear you. You know, when you're broken and you're busted. So it's the same thing. You know, we're already bouncing ideas of each other. You know, and it's kind of like a second. Having someone to talk to is important, especially in this line of work, because you know my first option isn't the best option. You know, we're dealing with situations. We got kids on campus this year, so I'm already kind of seeing a lot of that. You know, where I've had to, okay, let me take a step back because my first reaction isn't going to be the best. So let me talk to Marcus and see what he thinks, and then we come to a mutual like, okay, this is how we're going to approach it. And it's just learning how to talk to those situations, which has been good. So
Nice. You having fun?
I am having a great time.
Nice. What do you think about this combine?
It's always good for our state. You know, you know, I love getting out to Kansas City, and I think a lot of the coaches feel the same way, especially just building those connections that we talked about. For me, I got a lot of kids, you know, from the St. Louis area on my team right now, so it's important that we keep a lot of those kids in state. You know, we talked about tournaments that we could go to. You know, even last year when I was recruiting at these tournaments, it just wasn't the same as going to a local high school tournament and seeing top level competition in my own backyard. So I love anytime we can get in state, you know, good kids in the same area is pretty good. So.
Awesome. Always good to see you, Amond.
Yeah, Joe.
You got anything else for me?
Man, it's always good seeing you. Like I said, I'm obviously with what you're doing for the sport statewide, it just keeps getting better, and I can't wait to see what unfolds here in a few months.
Thanks, Amond.
So,